Lightfall is a game that I know very little about, other than it's on Nintendo Switch and it's a platformer. I do love me some platformers. I played Celeste earlier this year and loved it, so I figured I'd give Lightfall a try. So what the heck is Lightfall, and is it any good? Let's find out. Start that timer. Alright, so before we begin with the gameplay and all the other stuff with this game, we gotta start with the story and what the heck this game is about. So there's a group called the Kamloops, a small little nation that leave this war trying to find safety in a foreign land.
The Kamloops left everything behind. Everything but a foolish hope for better days. On their quest for peace and tranquility, they sought shelter in perilous Numbra.
Very smart.
There they would find haven in the perpetual darkness that shrouded their new home. What is that thing?
You then come across a box that helps you along your way, where you can jump on it up to 4 times before you have to touch the ground again, leading to some very interesting platforming aspects. And you're greeted along the way by an owl that looks and sounds like the Monopoly guy.
Let's get going. These old bones can't carry you all the way.
Something that's very evident right from the get-go is that this game is not going to hold your hand. The control's very simple, but it just kind of throws you in, and it's like, hey, so figure it out on your own. You know, learn how to jump, learn how to do these other things, and we'll kind of teach you along the way. And you definitely won't die as much as in, like a game like Celeste.
People weren't fond of knocks.
What's also apparent right at the beginning of the game is this text here. I'm not a fan. Just sit here and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And scroll, and scroll, and scroll. The game really feels good when you get going. Like when you get that good run and you're jumping from box to box and then onto a platform to recharge, and you get that fluidity, it just feels really good. And on the other side to that, when you are on a roll and you just stop, I mean, you really feel that stop. It really messes with you.
Does this place ring a bell, boy?
Surprisingly, which I actually didn't think would work well, just because, once you get going and you get that speed going, it just feels so good, is that there's some really interesting platforming in this game and some puzzles. And you know what? I kind of liked them. They were pretty good, and they had a good range, and it worked well because the gameplay mechanics are pretty tight. Little bit floaty for my liking, but it was okay. It was good, and it'll definitely test your skill, and it'll definitely make you think about what you're doing next. As the game progresses, new skills become available to you, which enhances the platforming even further. For instance, there's a boat section where you have to take the block, put it into the propeller of the boat, and you're using different buttons to move backwards and forwards while you're jumping and avoiding certain death. It's pretty neat. As fun as the platforming is, and surprisingly fits in, nothing beats this scroll. The art direction and stylization in this game really remind me of the Cartoon Network show Samurai Jack. Very simplistic, awesome color usage, and just kind of blends right into the background. But if you just stop and look at it, it's really neat. I really enjoy it.
Heard countless stories of his annoying antics.
The cutscenes in this game are sufficient, a little bit disappointing, but if they can make running with the Monopoly Guy Owl pretty intense, I think they did their job.
Most importantly, he was determined to find his friends. As for myself, I was more worried about what could be lurking in these parts of Numbra.
It's a good thing this music is pretty great. So, to recap, there's a nice simplistic art style, decent music, lame scrolling text for story context, accessible gameplay that makes you feel awesome when going fast and getting into a rhythm, platforming that progressively gets more neat, but doesn't always transition well from the fluidity of going fast, and a decent enough story. So overall, I'd have to say, I recommend this game.